again. So, my local comic book store had another sale recently. It's getting close to Halloween, so they tend to have sales around the holidays, or really any holiday they can come up with about once a month. So, they had one a couple weeks back, and I went and was trying not to blow my budget. Probably spent a little bit more than I should have, but what can you do sometimes? So had my daughter with me, couldn't really do the math in my head while she poked and asked for us to move along. She likes going with me, but she wants to look at anything she's interested in. She doesn't want me to be looking at anything for myself. So if we're not in the Pokemon section or looking at something that she might be interested in me purchasing for her, then she moves us along. So went through and got a good amount of Marvel Comics Presents. I don't know if anybody else is reading these, but they just restarted the series not too long ago. This is one of the newer ones. I'm a total sucker for this brown suit Wolverine. I love that suit. You tend to not see it too often, so Marvel Comics Presents, they came out with the first issue had this suit on the front, and I was sold. So I've been picking that up. It's a little pricey. It's the $4.99, but each issue's got 3 stories. The Wolverine one's ongoing. I think they just finished it up. I just haven't had time to read that issue yet, but when I was there for the sale this past time, I went through the back issues and just tried to find some good looking Marvel Comics Presents, and they were on the cheap, because I don't think this title is super beloved or anything like that. So the first one here, it's issue 5. Got Wolverine kind of pulling this cart behind him. Not sure what's going on. The old Marvel Comics Presents were, I don't know, I'd pick them up here and there as a kid, and I never remember really finishing a story, because they were always, you'd have maybe 5 or 6 pages of this Wolverine story, and then it would stop, and they'd have 2 or 3 other features, and you'd have to be picking up the book for probably a good year to finish out the story sometimes. So, not the best if you're really looking to follow an ongoing series, but some cool stuff going on in there. This one I picked up recently. Again, Marvel Comics Presents, but this one has Cyclops on the cover, which is a little strange, because for the longest time it seemed like Wolverine was the main selling point of the Marvel Comics Presents, but hey, maybe they tried to put another X-Man on the front and see how they did, but I don't have any others that have anybody other than Wolverine on the cover, so maybe this was a try and a no-go. So this is a cover you wouldn't get anymore. Wolverine's smoking a cigarette here. Sure, back in the day that was okay, but nowadays I'd probably get some angry parents sending them letters, so not so much now. Looks like he's probably having an adventure in Japan, or going to Madripoor. It's just Hong Kong horror, it says at the top there. So just a super cool, stylish cover. I had to pick that up. Wolverine on the cover again. This is him and the Grey Hulk. Not sure if this is when Hulk was smart. He's not enough on the cover to go by as far as whether or not this is Smart Hulk or Stupid Hulk, but anytime Hulk and Wolverine get together, I'll put some money down for that. So again, here's the brown suit on Wolverine. Just love that era. So let's see. This is the second part of that Hulk Wolverine. This time it looks like I'm assuming they're teaming up now because they're back to back. They look like they're going into. Oh yeah, looks like some guy has claws down here, so they must be going up against somebody together. Just a cool atmospheric looking cover here. The Hulk with the shadow on him and everything. Let's see, part 3 here, or I assume part 3. If issue 54 had Hulk and Wolverine, I don't believe it was on the cover, so I just picked these up based on the cover art, what I thought I was getting myself into. So here's a cool one, Wolverine leaping over to the Hulk. The Hulk has his title kind of smushed in his hand there, and Wolverine's, like, his little hair ear protrusions are rather Batmanish looking in this one. They're shooting up there. Look at those claws, literally are longer than his forearm, so I don't know how he's going to get those back in, but that's just an awesome looking cover there. Oh, this is about 5 issues after that last one, and somehow it's still Wolverine and the Hulk. But the Hulk is, he looks like he's suffering from some bad artwork here. Same thing with Wolverine. He seems to not the most striking image. I don't see has a signature down here, Howl. I'm not familiar with that, but this is not the most endearing or awesome cover. It's a little plain, but hey, Wolverine and Hulk. I had already picked up a few other issues with the two of them, so might as well finish it out, right? Here's Wolverine and Ghost Rider. Again, not the coolest cover, but it is very 90s, Wolverine, probably the most famous X-Man, and Ghost Rider for the 90s when it was Danny Ketch was pretty big. They had quite a few things going for him, so I think this is probably the first out of these where it's a flip cover. If you've ever picked up Marvel Comics Presents back in the day, it used to be there'd be 2 covers, one on the back, one on the front, and about halfway through the comic you'd have to flip it over upside down and start from the other side. So there'd always be 2 covers. The other one, a lot of the times when I was picking them up as a kid, it would be one cover with Wolverine and one cover with Ghost Rider, and you'd get a story about both and maybe a couple little side stories in the middle. Had to pick this one up. It's just an awesome cover, even by today's standards. I think that Wolverine in this brown suit with the big ass belt kind of flexing here, and some sort of weird Ghost Rider, I don't know, spirit popping up. Lord knows why they're bigger than life, but it's a super cool composition there, so just really like to look at that one. This is Marvel Comics Presents Weapon X, so going back in time here to early Wolverine. It's just a cool cover where he's getting infused with the adamantium. He's got his claws out, and his claws are metal. Just it's kind of a simple image, no background or anything, but just a very striking one as far as the character's history. Here's another Weapon X one. Another simple but striking image. Logan's naked in the moonlight holding up some poor lady. Not sure what's happening there, because when he was Weapon X, he's mostly be in the woods, but hey, maybe this lady's camping. Lord knows. these are some of my favorites. This is Sam Keith. You might know him from the Max. And he did some amazing covers for Marvel Comics Presents. You know, here, let me look at all these tiny little dots of hair on Wolverine. You know, got his suit all battle damaged. Just an awesome look for him. Here's one that's a little bit more like the Max, when he goes and does his trompsing through the dream world. If you made him look more like the Max, then this could be a Max cover. Again, a very Max looking cover here. He's stabbing some sort of worm. Again, you could probably reuse that and put the Max stabbing the guy, and boom, you'd be good to go. Last but not least, we got a couple more here. A super awesome picture of Doctor Strange and Ghost Rider. And here we got Wolverine in the Jim Lee costume. And a very, very fun looking Nightcrawler there. He's very mutant today. He's not going to be sneaking around with normal people. So that was it for today, guys. Hoping I'm find a few more of those later on, but you never know. Bye.